I purchased the Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced Collector's Edition, and I've had it for just over a week. I've sailed the Caribbean, been sunk more times than I like to admit, questioned Ubisoft's choices, and now I have some thoughts. So let's get to it. Let's start with what actually comes in the collector's edition. First, the box. Yes, I'm talking about the box. It's so ridiculously nice that throwing it away feels like committing a crime. The material, the artwork, even the size, it practically screams, "You spent $200 on me, don't you dare recycle me." Inside, you get the deluxe edition of the game with the physical disc, a code for the Master Assassin content packs, a steelbook case, a metal brooch, Edward's leather logbook, a sea shanty music sheet, a gorgeous cloth map, and last but definitely not least, a 12-inch Edward Kenway figurine. Honestly, the figurine alone looks ready to judge you every time you miss a counterattack. When I first saw the size of the box, I honestly thought I had made a mistake. Then I remembered that some publishers charge well over $100 for a digital deluxe ultra edition. That includes a different horse, 3 cosmetics, and a soundtrack that you'll never listen to. Suddenly paying $200 for an actual physical collector's edition with things you can actually touch didn't seem so bad. And yes, I paid retail. I refuse to pay scalpers. If somebody wants $500 because they clicked add to cart before I did, they can keep waiting. I'd rather replay the original another 10 times. Now let's talk about the game itself. There's a story from Games Radar claiming the developers couldn't use the original game code because it wasn't compatible with the programming used in modern Assassin's Creed games. And honestly, I'm calling pirate grade BS on that one. Because this game has the same exact quirks, features that the original had. Edward still decides that climbing next to the ladder is somehow a better idea than using the ladder. Leap of faith still failed because apparently looking half an inch in the wrong direction means gravity wins. The parkour is still occasionally has the decision-making skills of a drunk pirate after 12 bottles of rum. Either Ubisoft painstakingly recreated every bug for authenticity, or this is the same code wearing a fake mustache. Before starting the remaster, I actually played a few hours of the original Black Flag, and visually, they're honestly much closer than I expected. Sure, the new version has more detail, better lighting, and performance mode makes everything feels much smoother. But the difference isn't day and night. If anything, it reminds you just how incredibly good the original looked over a decade ago. To give you an example, in the original game, when you ran near the shore, Kenway ran like people normally run, while in the shore, lifting their legs way up. The new game doesn't have that. They're probably gonna say that the new game engine was not compatible. By the way, you should be seeing, if I can do a side-by-side, you should be seeing it right now, so you can see what I mean. And they couldn't make it work, but that was a tiny attention to detail that shows just how good the original was. Ubisoft accidentally gave themselves the biggest compliment possible. They made a game so good back then that it's difficult to dramatically improve it today. Now, I do have some complaints. The original control layout was basically perfect, so naturally, Ubisoft changed it, because apparently every remaster needs to fix something that wasn't broken. Using L1 and R1 for combat and blocking just doesn't feel natural in Black Flag. And performing an assassination during combat now requires pressing the triangle, which means that taking your thumb off the movement stick at exactly the wrong moment. Half the time, Edward just stands there while I'm desperately trying to stab somebody, and by the time I press the button, the opportunity has sailed away faster than a British frigate. That being said, I've genuinely enjoyed the game. Even the weird little quirks made me smile because they instantly transported me back to simpler times. Hearing the crew sing sea shanties while sailing never gets old, and I completely forgot how weak the Jackdaw is at the beginning of the game. After spending years with a fully upgraded ship, I sailed into a fleet thinking I was still the terror of the Caribbean. And the Caribbean then quickly reminded me that I was, in fact, a floating piece of driftwood with cannons. Before I finish, I do have another complaint. The original game had a companion app that let you manage your fleet while you weren't even playing. It was incredibly useful, especially because making money was never exactly easy in Black Flag. That's gone now, and the fleet system has been completely redesigned. Not every mission pays money anymore, and many require specific ship types. So far, the only missions I found that consistently pay use schooners, so keep that in mind while building your fleet. And apparently, inflation reached the Caribbean too. In the original, you'd loot a pirate and maybe find a handful of reales. That's the currency in the game. You felt lucky if somebody was carrying more than 10. Now everybody seems to have more money in their pockets. But somehow everything costs even more. Ship upgrades are more expensive, equipment upgrades are more expensive, and just to make things extra fun, the places where you buy upgrades also have to be upgraded. Ubisoft really looked at modern economies and said, you know what? Let's add inflation to piracy. Somewhere Edward Kenway is wondering why a cannon upgrade now requires a mortgage. Overall, I'm having a great time revisiting one of my favorite Assassin's Creed games. The collector's edition is fantastic, the nostalgia is real, and despite some questionable design decisions, and what feels suspiciously like the original code wearing a fresh coat of paint, Black Flag is still one of Ubisoft's best games ever made. If anything, replaying it just reminds me how much I miss the days when Assassin's Creed was about being an assassin, instead of trying to become every RPG known to mankind. Now, let me know what you think. Is it what you expected? Do you agree that judging by the way Edward moves and all the similar quirks, Ubisoft is probably using far more of the original programming that they're willing to admit? Or is this simply Ubisoft's latest attempt to convince us that nostalgia is a game engine? Let me know down in the comments, and while you're down there, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss future videos. As always, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, X, yes, I still call it Twitter, and of course, right here on YouTube at JR Abrams Tech. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.